Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Today is Friday. It is March 21st. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here. Today is March Madness on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming up at 11:40 on True TV, the Alabama Crimson Tide will take on Robert Morris. That game will be on True TV. I might be here with you watching it, doing a watch along. So maybe tune back at 11:40 a.m. Central Time. We'll kick it. We'll watch Alabama Crimson Tide, the number 2 seed in the March Madness bracket, taking on number 15, Robert Morris, where they are a 15-point favorite. All right. I've been on the show, obviously, we're going to talk about, Alabama basketball and kind of where they've been and, the things that they're doing, and really excited about what we got going on with the men's basketball team. And but I want to start with this football team and what I'm hearing from yesterday's practice. Talked to a couple people that were at practice, and in terms of the energy and that feel good and kind of that pop, that swagger, that excitement, pads popping, guys really having high intensity. I've been hearing really good things, honestly. I get it. They've only had, 5 practices or whatever. Things are going really well for these guys. I love this photo right here of Keelan Russell, courtesy of University of Alabama. And I think as we continue to hear from every single guy who talks about the quarterback competition, whether you want to talk about Austin Mack, whether you want to talk about Ty Simpson, whether you want to talk about Keelan Russell, there is a quarterback competition. I mean, even Parker Brailsford, who's returning at center for the University of Alabama this coming season, this guy's tenured. He's polished, and he said, look, it's a hell of a quarterback race. So the more you talk to people, close to the program, this is a hell of a quarterback race, and I love to see it. So we'll come back to football here at the end of the segment, but we got to highlight a couple things. And I appreciate you guys checking in inside the comment box. Thanks very much for being here. Everybody up in the undefeated. Let me get one thing set up real quick. Let me know where you're watching from this morning. Alabama, I think they're favored by 22 or something crazy like that today. All right. 1 second. Do you guys think that they honestly beat Robert Morris today by 22 points? Let's see if I can get to it this way. 1 second. All right. In other news last night, I don't know if you saw this, but if you've been following the Alabama baseball team, it's been really amazing. I mean, right now, the Alabama baseball team is taking on and hosting the number 1 team in the country, which is Tennessee. So Alabama baseball is number 12 in the country. They're taking on number 1 Tennessee. This game was in Tuscaloosa last night. It's part of a 3-game series. The Alabama Crimson Tide were able to defeat Tennessee. As you see that right here, it was a score of 6-5 at Sewell Thomas Stadium on Thursday night. The win improves the Tide to 22-1 on the season and 4-0 in Southeastern Conference play. Absolutely incredible. When you see what Alabama baseball is doing if you zoom out, holy cow, 22-1 Patriot Life, man. You've been here since the beginning, and we appreciate you, man. Thanks for being inside the comment box. Appreciate you coming to us from Chattanooga and for being a veteran. We appreciate you supporting the channel. But Alabama baseball, 22-1, they'll take on Tennessee tonight at 6 p.m. That is, when they'll play Tennessee in this best-of-3 series. As we tune in to a little bit of March Madness, a couple scores that stood out yesterday in the opening round. I'm sure your guys' brackets already busted, maybe not. But Auburn defeated Alabama State by a score of 83-63. Number 11, Drake took down Missouri 67-57. Arkansas defeated Kansas 79-72. McNeese defeated Clemson 68-67. BYU on the east side of the region was able to defeat VCU 80-71, and Wisconsin beat Montana by a score of 85-66. I think when you look to this Alabama basketball game today, taking on Robert Morris, tip-off time today is 11:40, True TV. Alabama favored by 22.5 points against Robert Morris up in Cleveland. By the way, I said that my daughter is at the game, so maybe we'll get some pics. She's been posted up with the team, having a good time. She flew out yesterday. What was cool, right out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and she I don't know if she'll be courtside, but she's at the game. What's up, Army 3275? I appreciate you being here, man. CLPN. Yeah, I saw Clemson looked. It didn't look like Clemson was going to score 50 points yesterday or 40 points. But, you know, when I look to this matchup and I start to look at Alabama basketball, clearly they're the favorite in this game. And the latest on Grant Nelson is he is available if they need him to. I don't know if he'll be needed in this game. We can't predict the future, but Alabama is, a 22-point favorite. I think three guys that you really need to keep tabs on today, and, of course, the roster is so deep. I mean, you could go 5, you could go 7, with the list like this. But I think it starts with these are the three guys that I picked up. And you can go, you can add in a couple other guys if you want to. Of course, Grant Nelson's their leading rebounder. Yeah, I appreciate it, Patrick. Yo, you can get these hoodies if you want to support the players on Athletes Thread. So just go to Athletes Thread. You could type in your favorite player. I got this one with Ryan Williams, and I think I had one of Milroe. And I want to see if there's one of like Bray Hubbard. I'd like to rock that. I still got to get a Jam Miller one too. But I think it comes down to these three right here. And these are, critical guys that have to have a standout today, right? And I think with Mark Sears being an AP All-American, 18.7 points per game, he has to really have a strong performance. And I'm really curious to see how Alabama comes out and fares against a team that's not from the SEC, right? I mean, the last 10 games, Alabama's 5-5 in those particular matchups. Mark Sears is a guy who, can be absolutely dominant. And when him and Grant Nelson are both healthy and both contributing at a very high level, this team could probably go as far as they want to go. I think a guy that has to be really critical is Chris Youngblood. I was looking at stats this morning. In the last 6 games, he's been under 10 times 5 out of 6 of those games. You need a really big performance from Chris Youngblood. And if they utilize him and if he gets hot, whether that's today, on Sunday, when they go to Newark, who knows? Chris Youngblood has to be a pivotal part of this team. I think he's that good. I think he's such a great player. Another graduate player. So is Mark Sears. Cliff Amore, look, if you don't have your top rebounder in, your top rebounder should probably be this guy anyways, period. I think Grant Nelson is averaging like 7 boards a game, and you have Cliff Amore at 6.6. You need a dominant performance by Cliff. Okay, so this needs to be the time where he's able to really show that he can be a dominant big man. It starts today. 100%. Kimberly, what's up? Patriot Live donated 5 fan funderships inside the comment box. We appreciate you, Patriot Live. Thanks for taking care of everybody, bro. This is our Philippines. What's up, man? Says, I hope they can win without Grant Nelson. I think he absolutely has to rest as well. Don't play him today. Get some additional guys off the bench. Jaren Stevenson, Cliff Amore. You hope he has a big game here at 11:40 a.m. Central Standard Time on True TV. Carlos, what's up, man? And like I mentioned, I might dip on back and start it live maybe in like that second half of the game, and we'll kind of close it out. Byron wants to know if the Steelers are drafting Jalen Milroe. That seems to be the talk. They certainly, they had dinner with him recently. They had a dinner with a couple guys. I would imagine they went to Chuck's here in Tuscaloosa for the sushi. Here's part of the East region, kind of show you where Alabama is within the East region bracket right now. Of course, there's a lot going on within the NCAA basketball tournament, but you have Alabama taking on Robert Morris. The winner will play St. Mary's or Vanderbilt. Up top, BYU was able to beat number 11 seed VCU. In Wisconsin, was able to beat number 14 Montana. I love that matchup up top. I really do. BYU and Wisconsin. I mean, BYU's a quality team. Wisconsin, I mean, that should be one hell of a matchup. In fact, they already got that Sunday spot at 6:45, which will be on CBS. Byron, you been to Chuck's? That's what's up, man. Yeah, that sushi bar up top it hits 100%. Give me that sashimi combo. And the bill could run up on you there. You know what? If you go to Chuck's, if you ever come here in Tuscaloosa and you're kind of, on the go or whatever, don't sleep on their pizza. They have this oven where they put the pizzas in. It's like this wood oven. It's just absolutely phenomenal. You know, I like where Alabama is in this bracket. I think, you look to that St. Mary's and Vanderbilt matchup, which will be on top of Alabama and Robert Morris. I think they're able to get there. BYU and Wisconsin, I would imagine. I think I have Wisconsin picked on that side. I still think Alabama could get, through these teams, and we'll see where they end up on the other side. It's just going to be nice to see Alabama play somebody else other than like SEC teams, right? At least for now. Like I said, my daughter's posted up at the game today. I just text her, see if she can send me a photo. I don't know if she's at the arena yet or not. Alabama has 11 wins over AP top 25 teams this season. Super impressive. And that shows you the quality of schedule. It kind of does. Their schedule has been wicked. It was wicked at the beginning. On the back end, it was ultra hard. I think they were exhausted. This would be a good sign to see how this team plays. I think that they could come out and just be refreshed and kind of have a resurgence, right? I mean, the back end of that schedule was absolutely crazy. Then they had to go to the SEC tournament. By that time, absolutely exhausted. Alabama has beaten 4 top 10 teams. Alabama scored 90 or more in 18 games this season. Of course, they're always a team that's capable of hitting the 100-point mark, right? The last 10, I think, when you look to who they have played, 5-5. Yeah, everybody talking about the hoodie today. Yeah, you can get this, and you could support Ryan Williams by just going to Athletes Thread and buying your hoodie. I know. Frank is asking what time Alabama will play on Sunday if they win. The time is not set yet, Frank, but I do know, I would imagine that they'd play maybe at that 4 p.m. window, that 2 to 4 p.m. window, because this Wisconsin and BYU game is already scheduled at 6:45. I don't think that they would play in the PM in the game after it. But I don't know that for sure. But I would imagine that they would probably play at like somewhere between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. But again, I'm just guessing. I'm trying to figure that out as well because, my daughter's flying back from the game. But like I was saying, you can get the hoodies at Athletes Thread. Just type in your favorite athlete or whatever. Support the players. It's officially licensed gear, too. So it goes through University of Alabama back to the players. Robert Morris has won 11 straight, right? Finished out very strong in their conference. Cam Woods, I believe he's from Bessemer, which is pretty cool. He's an Alabama guy. I'm sure him and Sears have gone at it, when they were younger. He's scoring 15.1 points per game. I'm gonna ask you guys today. It's a new day. It's a fresh day. How far do you have Alabama going in your tournament? Like, what is realistic to you guys? Do you think that this team honestly can make a real run and win? Honestly, like not messing around. Do you think that this team can win the whole thing? Yes or no? And I think you have to think about it. Can they? Maybe. Will they? I don't know. What could hold them back? I think what would hold this team back is, once again, I just don't feel that they have a dominating inside presence. They don't have like an absolutely dominating inside man. And while I love Mo Diabate, the Cliff Amore, man, I just don't think – I think he's good. I don't think he's great, and I definitely don't think he's elite. Deer Hunter has him in the Sweet 16. Rocketown is saying no to overall. They can't win. Elite 8. A lot of Elite 8s. J. Cole is saying defense. And how about the turnovers? But what's crazy is the more they turn over the basketball, the more like they still win despite that. Kimberly mentioned she won't be coming to A-Day. This is our Philippines. Still has Alabama rolling. Oh, that's what's up. Cam, the Don, says Cam Wood played his ball at Pinson with Kool-Aid. Yo, because I remember that Kool-Aid, wow, that's what's up. Because Kool-Aid was a phenomenal basketball player, right? So him and Cam Woods on the same team, that's what's up. And I think it was Terrion Arnold, too, that was like a really good basketball player. Remember earlier in their career that both of them said that they might play, with Nate Oates. And even Nate Oates talked about it. There's no way that those guys are, no guys are transitioning from football to basketball now. I mean, you look at the depth even next year. Holloway, LeBaron Farlon. That guy, Farlon is unbelievable. Deer Hunter says Florida basically a lock to make the finals. Yeah, the way that Florida is playing right now, yeah, I have Florida. I think I have Florida into the finals as well. Who doesn't? That team is hella good. Hey, Jeff Roy, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Wade's World has a hot take. He said Ryan Williams might not lead the wide receiver room next season. Oh, man. No, I 100% think that Ryan Williams he'll be cooking. I think that he's about to have, I don't know. I'm going to put it at Ryan Williams like 14. I think he'll have like a 1,400-yard season. I really do. 12 to 1,400 yards. And that's even with the amount of wide receivers that they have. I just think that they're going to be able to distribute the football at a very high level this year. Now, who's the quarterback? I don't know. Yesterday, we talked a lot about Austin Mack. I wasn't the only one talking about Austin Mack. I think a lot of people talking about him and just the skill set that he has, the fact that he's really been, here for 3 years now, or within that system for 3 years. I saw this too. This was interesting. Whoa, what happened to our light? So this morning, I recommend. Look, I listened to about 20 minutes of the podcast this morning. Marshawn Lynch has a podcast. He had DK Metcalf on the podcast. Did anybody see this? I saw this inside the comment box. And they were talking about Ryan Grubb. And I guess DK Metcalf and Ryan Grubb didn't see eye to eye. So much so that there was a couple times that DK Metcalf had to get on the phone and call up to the booth to Ryan Grubb, and they exchanged words. The NFL, and kind of how they were talking about this, was the fact that Ryan Grubb wasn't getting DK Metcalf the football in situational football the way that DK Metcalf wanted the football. And I feel that what they were getting at is DK Metcalf and Lockett were saying that they'd been there for such a long time as compared to like Ryan Grubb, who just got there and they never were able to figure out the symmetry. I don't know. But Geno Smith cooked. Jackson and Smith and Jigba cooked. CLP inside the comment box of the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Where do I think Kane Womack goes next season? If he goes, if next season goes anywhere like last season, he can go anywhere he wants. I would imagine that he's going to be a head coach. I mean, you look at all the head football coaches that you have on this team right now. Mo Lindquist was a former head coach at Buffalo. Kane Womack was a former head football coach at South Alabama. Help me out, fam. Ryan Grubb, he's going to be a head football coach. So, look, don't let that make you panic about the future. This has happened for a long time here at the University of Alabama, and things have stood well. The thing that'll be challenging, I think, for Coach Kalen DeBoer going forward is, can he be able to retain the standard and the level of high play with having to replace assistants? Because that's something that I don't think Coach Kalen DeBoer has had to go through yet as a head football coach, and he's about to go through it probably next year because of the success that he'll have this year. Happened to Saban throughout his entire career. It's happening to Nate Oates right now. The more success you have, you can't lure away those guys because they're already making top dollar, but you can start to lure away their assistants. I mean, how many assistant coaches since I've been here within 9 years have gone somewhere else because of the success that, they've had here at the University of Alabama. That's going to be the challenge for Coach Kalen DeBoer going forward. He's had success because he's been with these guys around him, and they have that continuity, and they continue to do good things on the football field. But pretty soon, those guys will be plucked away. Ryan Grubb, my prediction is that Ryan Grubb won't be here even next season. I would say I would be shocked if he's got 2 years, but if Alabama's offense is as good as I think it's going to be, kind of pending the offensive line, I would give Alabama's offensive line right now a B. Not even a B plus. I'm gonna keep it at a B. I think the tight ends are a B. I think the offensive line is a B. I think the wide receivers are A plus plus. I think the running back room is about an A. I think the quarterback room probably B plus, pending. We still need to see how they play. But if the offense really comes together and they start cooking up and scoring 40, 45 points a game, Ryan Grubb will basically be able to go anywhere he wants. I'll tell you one thing. I could just tell you, like, listening to him talk, this guy will be gone. He will be making $10 million somewhere else in college football. The guy wants to be a head football coach. That's why he was so pissed off and wrote that letter when he didn't get the job at Washington. He should have got the job at Washington. The Huskies did him wrong. And that's something that Coach Kalen DeBoer is just going to have to deal with going forward. He knows that. And he will get quality assistants too. Carlos points out, he's like, DeBoer has to win before they start pluck the assistants. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people saying that Grubb is already a hot commodity, including Jarvis inside the comment box. Rocketown says, why do you think Washington did not go with Grubb? I think they just made a bad choice. They made a really bad choice. They could have basically kept whatever Washington, their standard is. They could have took some steps forward by retaining Grubb. I think they completely reversed to whatever, wherever they're at now because they didn't hire him. I think it was just a bad decision. Hey, Jarvis, I appreciate it, man. I'm back to 100%. Yeah, I was counting it. I was probably sick for 14 days. It was terrible. But it all starts at the quarterback position, man. It always does. Every single year, it starts right here. And then you kind of go from there. The offensive line, we'll see what they can do. And I really hope that this guy is as good as we're making him out to be, and I hope that we're patient with him, and I understand that he's doing his thing. It's a hell of a quarterback race. I never believed Coach Saban when he said that he had a quarterback competition between Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. I never believed that. I always felt that it was going to be Jalen Milroe 100%. This one, I don't know. I still have, questions about who will be the quarterback for the entire season. Byron says you need to up Ryan Grubb's salary. Did we ever figure out what he was making? I think he was making, $80,000? He got a payment recently of $80,000 per month, right? So, if we do quick math, that still doesn't seem like a lot for somebody like him. That's $1 million. It comes down to $960,000. I think that's less than probably what he's worth. Because I think Nick Sheridan's making the same. I would imagine that Ryan Grubb would be making, all said and done, he's probably making 2.5. Remember, I'll probably roll back here on the second half to rock with you guys for this Alabama Robert Morris game. Close it out, point out some high points. Xavier, that could still be the reason, man. If Seattle is still paying him, maybe that's why they're only paying him, only $80,000 a month. I'd take $80,000 a year. Yeah, I figured Sheridan's at 1.3. Whatever the case is, I think if you were to poll right now, everybody's optimism, let's just ask a general straw poll. inside the comment box. What is your excitement level about Alabama's offense at this point in time? Just based off the things, we don't even know who the starters are. I could tell you who I think the starters are going to be, and you could, think the starters as well. But on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your excitement level about Alabama's offense? I'm probably going to say well, let me see what you guys say first. I was going to say 8.5 as well. Eight 8.5. This is our Philippines 4? What? Stop. 8.5. Wade's World has 15. Jeff has 7. 8.7. 7 because I don't know about the offensive line. All right, that's fair. I'm like at 8.5. I think you guys are going too low too. Philippines wants to see something. He's like, talk is cheap. I've heard it for 3 years in a row. Fair point. Alabama hasn't had a quarterback throw for over 3,000 yards in 3 consecutive seasons. Hasn't had a running back hit the 1,000-yard mark in 3 consecutive seasons. Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, Cody, what's up, man? Yeah, just kicking it with you guys just for a few minutes here before Alabama plays at 11:40. True TV. I like YouTube TV because you have 4 different games going on. But I like that for like the general experience, but like I'm not going to do that when Alabama's playing. I like to have the main game on, and that's it. So Alabama's favored in this game, coming up by 22. Do we think that Alabama beats Robert Morris by 22 points? Yes or no? I'm going to say 22 points. Question is, will Alabama beat Robert Morris by 22? I don't know. I'm going to say no. Not to say that it'll be close or anything, but like 22 is a lot of points. Byron says 100,000 at A-Day. Last year was a great turnout. I think last year they had 72,000 people. They really did. That entire bowl at the bottom was completely filled. Damn, Argo has Bama by 35 points. Deer Hunter has Bama by 15. Cody's saying, what's the score going to be? Shoot. I'll take Alabama. Let's see. Today's score prediction by me. I'll take Alabama 97. Let's see. 97. Damn, maybe I am going to take them over by 22 points. Am I going to say 97-81? 97-81. Yeah, so I got them by 16. 97-81. Give me Sears for plus 20. And give me Youngblood. Give me Youngblood with 9. And I don't think they play Grant Nelson. So no minutes for Grant Nelson. Larry Large has a 102.75. Herman has him in at 10. 40 has him in at 20. Kyle has it 91.65 inside the comment box. This is our Philippines has it close to the 85-70. I think they'll poke above the 80 mark. I think I have them at 97, close to the century mark. Hey, we got a $10 super chat in, man. That's what's up. What's up, John? Appreciate you, bro. ready for some b-ball. If Grant Nelson is 100, we might win it all. If not, we'll lose in the Elite Eight. And that's kind of the thing with Alabama basketball is it. So from what I understand, this injury is more like a flare-up that Grant Nelson has, and it's been something that he's dealt with even since last year. And the more inflamed that this injury is, the less that he can do. But if they can manage it, with rest or, just keeping him healthy, he's in a great spot. Look, there's Grant Nelson. When he first came here, I don't think that he performed at the highest level for a while. It kind of took up until Grant Nelson. So he's available today if needed. Available if needed. 100%. Like that's 100% the scoop. But when this guy is on, and he'll have games in big time matchups where he will go off, and when he's doing that, and if you can get the same thing from Mark Sears, you get some chip ins from some other guys, this team is as deadly as anybody in the country. Can you imagine if Grant Nelson is on, if Mark Sears is doing his thing, and with these three things, Mark Sears is on, Grant Nelson is on fire, and Alabama's three ball is falling. Does this team, if those three things happen in some bigger profile matchups, I don't know if this team loses. It doesn't seem like this team has been as hot as they've been in the past from three-point land. Jeff, don't you think? Seriously, man. Grant Nelson on fire, Mark Sears doing his thing, and the three ball falling, shit, they might win the whole thing. Byron, you're right, bro. Nelson loves playing on a big stage. The game that I think back to, the game against North Carolina last year, he went crazy. Recently against Auburn, dudes dunking on dudes, doing the crane. It just feels like they've been, I guess they don't have, maybe as good as shooters as they had in the past, which seems weird to say. I don't know. Like something's up, but those three things have to, if we're in a casino, 777 jackpot. It seems like there's always a weird combination of those elements. Sears will be on, but no Grant Nelson, and the three ball won't fall. Three ball will fall, Mark Sears won't do something, and Grant Nelson will be like mediocre. Let me ask you this too before I bounce out, and we'll get ready for. I'll come back in the second half of Alabama and Robert Morris. I'll be live again in the second half. Let me ask you this. Be thinking about this. Do you feel that this team has played its best basketball yet? Like, did they peak at some point during the year? Or have they not played their best basketball yet? Let me look up the basketball schedule real quick. Because last year, I felt that they peaked at the right time. They just didn't have a dominating big man. Let's see. The beginning of the season, they won 3 in a row, 4 in a row. I guess from December 4th to January 11th, they strung together wins over North Carolina, Creighton, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. That stretch was hot. How about this? From January 18th through February 11th, they beat Kentucky in Kentucky, Vandy, LSU, Mississippi State, Georgia, Arkansas, Texas. That wasn't that tough of a stretch against higher competition, and this was just absolutely incredible. They lost on February 15th through March 15th, the whole month stretch. Lost to Auburn, lost to Missouri, beat Kentucky, beat Mississippi State, lost to Tennessee, lost to Florida, beat Auburn OT, beat Kentucky, and lost to Florida. I don't know. I don't think that they've played their best basketball yet. It is nice to say that you beat Kentucky 3 times in a row. like in one season, that is just phenomenal. I don't care. Look, even Nate Oates said that Kentucky is a little bit banged up. It doesn't matter. I can't even imagine being a Kentucky fan and being swept by Alabama 3 times. So most people are saying that inside the comment box that Alabama hasn't played their best basketball just yet. I agree with that. Hopefully it starts today, 11:40, True TV. I'll be with you guys in the second half. We'll break it down. We'll point out, things that stand out to us. So come back at 11, watch the game on TV, pop back in the second half. We'll do observations. We'll do a post-game show as Alabama takes on Robert Morris. Sound like a deal? Jeff saw the baseball team. Yeah, baseball team, in case you missed it, I'll run over it one more time. The baseball team, where do I have it? Beat number 1 Tennessee last night, 6-5. Play today at 6 p.m. Alabama's 22-1 overall and 4-0 in SEC play. Crazy. I mean, they win tonight. I think if they win tonight or they win on Saturday, the baseball team they'll obviously be a top 5 team in the country. And I'm pretty sure it's sold out on Saturday. The game on Saturday is sold out here. I would imagine that you could see the team play tonight. The thing is, it's freezing here. It's probably warmed up a little bit. Right now, we're on a freeze warning. It's 33. Like, this morning, it was 30 degrees when I was outside. 30. All right, fam. Second half, Robert Morris. I'll be live. Come back, kick it with me. We'll do a second half watch along into the post game show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Get locked in. Let's do it right. And let's watch the Alabama Crimson Tide take on Robert Morris. 11:40 True TV back live for the second half into post game right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with me this Friday morning. Shirt is from Athlete's Thread or hoodies from Athlete's Thread. Catch you back here in a few right here on Bama Football.